Our topic today is sales versus customer service. Which one is costing you money and which one is making you money? Well, you know we're all about big construction energy here, so we're going to try to make you as much money as possible with some of our tips and tricks. So I want to start with a little story here. We own a digital marketing company, Business Marketing Solutions Group, big construction branding, and this is the podcast, Big Construction Energy. Naturally, we have to deal with a lot of different softwares that we use on a day-to-day basis. I'm not going to use any names for this story because I'm not going to reveal them in the best light, but we have to use a lot of different stuff. And, whether it's email marketing or something that schedules posts, calendars, emails, all sorts of stuff we have to use on a day-to-day basis. So our story begins back, it's been a couple months ago, and there's this company that helps us with something, and I'm not going to tell you the name once again because I'm really not going to say much nice about them. And our card had expired. We had a miscellaneous charge on a card. So you know how it goes. You have to get your card replaced and you have to fix the situation. And we had to get, it was basically a huge pain in the ass because what we ended up having to do was replacing our card with all of our softwares, all of our systems, all of our vendors and everything like that. So, it was a pretty involved process. I have to end up having the same conversation 30 or 40 times. What's your card number? 446. Just kidding. I'm not going to give you my card number. So I end up calling this company that we were using. And by the way, up until this point, they were great. They would call every time that they would pick up every time that I called. They would get back to you with an email, whatever. But just something as simple as changing a card over. And I call their customer service line instead of their sales line because it's something simple. Customer service should be able to take care of. And I end up waiting on this call for about 30 or 45 minutes. And, I'm sitting there and I'm trying to do other stuff, be productive, and it's just not working. So I'm sitting there and eventually I have to get off the phone. I have another appointment. And so it just slips my mind that, I need to replace this card number with this specific company. And it ends up just creating this whole nightmare situation where we basically the card had expired and the service was suspended, which ended up costing us a lot of time with a lot of our clients and stuff like that. And then I have to go through the whole rigmarole again. So I call them back and I sit there and I wait for 30, 45 minutes. And by the way, here's the icing on the cake, if you will. There was like a late charge. It was like $100 of a late charge because our system wasn't working or because, our card had expired that date or whatever. That's not a good way to do customer service. So what do we end up doing? Well, I don't want to put up with that shit. I don't know about you. So I end up finding another company, another software that does almost exactly the same thing. By the way, your customers are doing this too. So, if you mistreat them in this system, they'll pick up their phone, they'll Google, they're not going to go to the Yellow Pages anymore, and they will find somebody that will give them the same service, if not a different service, even at the expense of, going through the process and finding somebody if you piss them off. So that's exactly what we did. We ended up getting a new software system. I actually don't like the new software as good as I liked the first one. And I'm not going to change. I'm not going to go back to the first one because, just because of the experience and everything. So in this circumstance, a little minor $100 charge, a huge inconvenience, an hour and a half, 2 hours on the phone trying to replace my card information. And guess what? They lost a customer. And, we weren't spending any small amount with them. It was far more than a $100 charge, I can assure you that much. So the long story short on this is if you want to have big construction energy, you have to take care of your customers. It's one of the most fundamental things that you can possibly do in your company. You need to have a good sales force that wants to take care of the new prospects, customers that come in, and the ones that they've already sold things to. But you also want to have a great customer service team. And together, those can come together for big construction energy.